Hello, friends. Welcome back to anthropology classes. I will discuss with you anthropology. I will again start with chapter 1 of anthropology. Chapter 1 belongs to paper 1 of anthropology. It is going to very interesting lectures, topics. I will be explaining to all of you in detail the things. I will be sharing with you information that I have regarding the anthropology. Anthropology is very vast subject. You need to understand it clearly and adaptively. You have to make yourself so much interesting so that you can develop analytical ability and answer questions with your mind and describe the various phenomena and relate the anthropology with the modern concepts that its relevance in the contemporary period. It is how the application of anthropology is helping the society in governance and administration. It is also doing a lot of work in order to gain the attention of policymakers. Anthropologists are doing a lot to policy making to bring out to cure the socio-economic problems and bring out social justice in the society. I will be discussing with you anthropology. You are going to have thorough knowledge of anthropology, which is going to be very mind blowing. It is a mind blowing subject and will enable you, will create curiosity among all of you regarding the scope and development of anthropology. I will start with the meaning of anthropology, the scope and development of anthropology. Anthropology is a very scoring subject. I assure you to go through all my videos in detail and you must work hard. You must try to address the demand of the question. You must be able to relate the topics of various chapters and answers in a constructive manner. Your answers must be complete, including introduction, body, and conclusion. That is going to fetch you good marks. I assure you, you have taken very perfect choice of anthropology. Anthropology is not only will fetch good marks. Anthropology is not only a scoring subject, but it will develop you a better person. You will be able to analyze or you will be able to apply the various concepts of anthropology in your governance, in administration. Bureaucrat has to work in the field, in the villages, in the rural areas, in the urban areas. So anthropology has scope, it has applications in both the rural areas and the urban areas, in the villages. You are maybe posted in tribal studies, tribal areas. So you will be enhancing your knowledge about tribal India, tribal anthropology. It is going to broaden your knowledge base, and you will be equipped with so many skills that you are will will be able to move ahead with the right choice and generating lot of interest within you, that is utmost important for your anthropology point of view. And I want to make one announcement that you must work hard, you must uh, uh, take oath that we will not accept defeat. We will work hard till we achieve success. That is the mantra of success. Right guidance, hard work, and right guidance are two main things, are the two mantras of success. So I am going to share with you the mantras. I will be enhancing, I will be taking up each and every topics of anthropology. For this you have to subscribe my channel. You have to you must give feedback, and it will help me to do lot of improvement in my way of teaching. I will be doing lot of work. You will be able to study anthropology in a very easy manner. Okay, so lots of talk has been done regarding anthropology. So let us begin with the topic. So the first thing is I want to share with you that know what is anthropology. So there are two Greek words. Anthropos. Anthropos mean human, and logos means study or discourse. So literary, the word anthropology, if I talk about, if I say the literary, the meaning of anthropology is study of man. So anthropos means human or man. Anthropos is derived from two Greek words. Anthropos means human, and logy means study. So and literary anthropology means the study of man or study of humans. Okay, so you must understand, you must study, read, and make notes the definitions of anthropology by different anthropologists like A.L. Kroeber. What does A.L. Kroeber says? A.L. Kroeber says that anthropology is the most humanistic of all sciences and the most scientific of all the humanities. So A.L. Kroeber has tried to define anthropology in a different way. A.L. Kroeber said anthropology is the most humanistic of all the sciences and the most scientific of all the humanities. Okay, so A.L. Kroeber's definition I have told you. Okay, so again there was E.B. Tyler. E.B. Tyler so has also defined anthropology. So anthropology, E.B. Tyler has said that anthropology is the science of man. It is a science, anthropology. So E.B. Tyler has called anthropology a science. He said anthropology is the science of man, so which deals with the study of human beings in its totality. So E.B. Tyler talks about that anthropology is the scientific subject, and it is the study of human beings in its totality. So anthropology is the study of man and which deals with the study of human beings in totality. So E.B. Tyler has given many definitions of anthropologist. Anthropology is the science of man. So it which deals with the study of human beings in totality. So E.B. Tyler. So what is E.B. Tyler? So E.B. Tyler has talked about, okay, so it is the most scientific of all the subjects. Okay, so and more for example, Franz Boas. Franz Boas has also tried to define the anthropology. So according to Franz Boas, okay, so it is the study of man in its totality. Means in totality, Franz Boas means the physical as well as cultural characteristics of human being. Okay, so different. So it is the various definitions by scholars has said that anthropology is the holistic study of anthropology is the holistic study of mankind. Okay, it is the holistic study means study the human beings in its totality. It studies the cultural and physical characteristics as studied by Franz Boas. So E.B. Taylor, uh, Al Kroeber said anthropology is the most humanistic of all the sciences and the most scientific of all the humanities. A.L. Kroeber has said. So A.L. Kroeber we have discussed. So E.B. Tyler has discussed the study of human beings in its totality, and Franz Boas studied the human being in its totality, which includes physical as well as cultural characteristics. Okay, so we have to study. So it means the study of human beings. We are studying human beings physically, physical characteristics. We are studying human being culturally, both biologically and culturally, and both present. We are studying human being in present as well as past of human being. So anthropology is one such sciences. So which studies the present as well as past of the human being, of the humankind. Of humankind कह लीजिए, human कह लीजिए, man कह लीजिए, okay. So human beings कह लीजिए, man कह लीजिए, okay, या फिर humankind कह लीजिए. So ये सारे हम we are studying these in the anthropology. So definitions has been given by A.L. Kroeber, Franz Boas, E.B. Tyler, okay, Ruth Benedict. So Ruth Benedict studies the anthropology as the study of ways of groups of people. How, what is the ways of life? We are studying the ways of life of the people, okay, wherever they may be found in all periods of history. So Ruth Benedict says that anthropology tries to study the ways of group of people. Okay, so wherever they are found, wherever people are found, and wherever the people, wherever they may be found in all periods of history. So anthropology study the ways of life of groups of people wherever they may be found in all groups of in all periods of society. Yeah, it studies all periods of society. Okay, so holistic study of mankind. So it studies both biological and culturally. Okay, I have given you about four definitions of scholars and meaning of anthropology. So it has, wow, it has great, it is a great subject, it is a fantastic subject, you are going to definitely enjoy it. Is okay. So it is the it explores origin of humans, it explores variations in the human, evolution in the human. Okay, the cultural practices. So it studies human origin, it studies variation in the humans, it studies cultural evolution, it studies the various social institutions like marriage, family, political system, economic system. Okay, and the various cultural practices prevailing in the present as well as the past society. So it explores human origin, human evolution, it does lot of things, it studies lot of things. Okay, so scope, let us talk about the scope of anthropology. Of course it has lot of scope, it has lot of scope, anthropology has lot of scopes. Okay, so uh, it's not that the anthropology is, it studies it, its scope is beyond the tribal societies, its scope is beyond the primitive societies, primitive tribes, to all human societies. Okay, so it goes beyond, it deals with okay, it goes beyond caste, and it not only studies caste and tribes, but it deals with health, it deals with gender issues, it deals with migration, urbanization, globalization, policy planning. Of course, yes, it is the holistic science, total science. It is a great science, fantastic science. So anthropology is going to change you a lot, you will see in the days to come. It is a fantastic subject, it is a scoring subject. Okay, there are some people who say that it is very difficult. I want to make it clear that people who say anthropology is difficult, in fact they are jealous of anthropology. Okay, so anthropology is basically people, we don't only study caste, we not only study tribes, we study health, we study environment, we study gender, we study globalization, migration, and policy planning. Okay, so it is A.L. Kroeber when says that it also bridges the gap between the natural and the social sciences. Okay, okay. So when France Boas was such a personality. He was great personality. He boasts of studying of man in its totality with reference to physical and cultural characteristics. So it is the study of man in its totality. So Franz Boas says studies the man in its totality like studying the physical as well as cultural characteristics. So E.B. Tyler, Franz Boas, A.L. Kroeber, A.L. Kroeber, yes, of course. So Franz Boas, he was criticisms of classical evolutionism. He opposed evolutionists. He focused on cultural relativism. So when I talk about cultural relativism, that we have to understand culture in its own place, in its own time, dimension. It is study the culture. Yes, Franz Boas. Wow, fantastic personality. He was cultural relativism. Emphasized, focused on cultural relativism. So when I say that scope of anthropology, its scope of anthropology is very vast because I told you that it is a holistic subject. It has field based approach. Its scope is vast because of field. Its approach is field based approach, and it is a comparative subject. Okay, so It is unlike sociology or biology. It studies both the cultural as well as the biological aspects together. It studies together. Sociology studies the cultural aspect, the groups, the social groups, whereas biology studies the natural science, the biological aspect. Anthropology is one such subject which studies both cultural and biological aspects together. Okay, so when I talk about the scope of anthropology, I will I will discuss with you the main branches of anthropology. So scope of anthropology lies in the branches of anthropology. So let us discuss the one by one anthropology. Let us first discuss biological and physical anthropology. So Franz Boas has said that it studies humans both biologically and cultural characteristics. So when I say physical anthropology, biological anthropology, so its focus of anthropology is on human evolution, human genetics, human variation, primatology, osteology. So its focus areas are so many. Like it studies human genetics, it studies human evolution, it studies variation, okay, primatology, okay, like we study DNA, we study blood groups, okay, we study the fossil remains like Homo erectus, like Homo sapiens, like Neanderthals, then Australopithecus, then yes, lot of fossil remains we study. So biological anthropology, wow, it's very vast subject and study. We study the fossils, we study the human evolution, we study blood groups, we study DNA, we study fossil remains, we study genetics, we study osteology, we study primatology, human evolution, how human evolved due course of time and in space. Okay, so it Sherwood Washburn. When I say Sherwood Washburn, so Sherwood Washburn in 1951, he talk about new physical anthropology. New physical anthropology. Like what is new physical anthropology means? It means we have to focus, we have to shift our focus from racial studies to population genetics and adaptation and migration. Okay, so biological anthropology, oh, it has like it includes various fields like health, forensic anthropology, like health, epidemiological anthropology, sports anthropology. Yes, so all these anthropology it has UPSC angle. When I give UPSC angle to it, so biological physical anthropology is useful in sports anthropology, natural sciences, primatology, then fossil studies, then DNA is studies, and blood groups are studied of the human species, of the animal species. Okay, then we studies the primatology, our ancestors, our forefathers, what they do, what they eat, where do they live. So all these things comes under anthropology. So physical anthropology means studies the human evolution, human aspects, biological aspects, the cultural aspects. So we study the bones, we studies the skeletons, we studies the fossil remains, we studies the DNA, blood groups, genetics, primatology, osteology, human evolution. Okay, so all this comes under biological oblique physical anthropology. So it is useful in we have when we in forensic sciences, role of anthropology is very vast. In health, role of anthropology is very vast. Studies the health, the diseases of the population of present and past, diseases, the spread of diseases, the cure of diseases. Okay, it studies epidemiology, it studies the environment of the surrounding the various sections of the society. So where it has utility in sports anthropology, how to improve the performance of athlete and how to select the athletes for a particular game, whether the athletes is suitable or not. Okay, athletes is suitable or not. Okay, so all these things are uh, so health have, that is we have talk about epidemiological anthropology, forensic anthropology, then there are sports anthropology, we have discussing it a lot of things on it. Okay. Yes, of course, we are studying the scopes of anthropology. Of course, it has vast scope. It has a lot of things to do, like Sherwood Washburn. What does Washburn says that we have to focus from to new physical anthropology from human classification, racial classification to physical and the population genetics and adaptation. So uh, it has a scope also. The scope of anthropology, it goes beyond not only physical anthropology. It has a scope in social cultural anthropology. So social cultural anthropology, I mean to say that we study family, we study marriage, we study kinship, we study religion, we study economy, we study politics. So various, these are the social institutions. These are the social institutions that we have to study. So social cultural anthropology studies social institutions, that family, kinship, marriage, religion, economy, politics. So socio cultural anthropology, it studies various social institutions. So we are going to discuss a lot of things. We study the various, we are going to discuss a lot of things on social institutions. We are discussing family, we are discussing kinship, we are discussing marriage, religion, economy, politics. So social, we are discussing a lot of things on social institutions. So that is going to have a lot of impact on you. So socio-cultural institution. So various, we are going to have elaborative discussion on the various social institutions. Okay, so let us discuss about some sociologists, socio cultural anthropologists like Radcliffe Brown. So Radcliffe Brown talks about structural functionalism. Okay, so Radcliffe Brown talks about structural functionalism. So what does Radcliffe Brown says that I will study in anthropological theories. What is structuralism? What is functionalism? What is structural functionalism? Okay, so we study functionalism. So Brownian Malinowski. So B. Malinowski was a functionalist. He was belongs to functionality school of thought. So he said, what is a culture? So culture is something that fulfill human needs. So we have certain human needs. So culture develops, culture innovate, culture comes in order to develop our human needs. So Malinowski. So we are there fulfilling the human needs. If we are fulfilling, so fulfilling human needs. So Malinowski, what does Malinowski says? Malinowski says that culture is fulfilling human needs. Culture is something that is fulfilling our needs, our desires. So who said? Malinowski said. He was a functionalist. Okay, so he believed in participant observation. Malinowski, he said that we should engage in participant observation. Whenever we are doing any research field work, we should participate in the we observe the things we in a participative manner. Participate observation. Okay, so Radcliffe Brown. When I talk about Radcliffe Brown, so Radcliffe Brown, so he studies that society. He studies the society as a structure. Society is a structure. Okay, structural functionalism. Structural is there. Okay, so what is that? So these socio-cultural anthropology, what we do, we study village surveys, we study rural development, we study caste system, we study tribal studies, we study village surveys, rural development. So yes, it has useful. So socio-cultural anthropology has wide scope. It is useful in village study, useful in tribal studies, useful in rural development, useful in caste system, tribal studies, village surveys. Okay, so socio-cultural anthropology is going to have a lot of impact on socio-cultural aspects. So when I say about socio-cultural in anthropology, so socio-cultural anthropology studies various social institutions. It studies family, it studies kinship, it studies marriage, it studies religion, it studies economy, it studies politics. So socio-cultural anthropology has a lot of vast knowledge of it. So it develop. So we are seeing. So we are studying structural functionalism. So belongs to structural functionalism. Who was behind structural functionalism? Radcliffe Brown was the belonged to school of structural functionalism. So he said that society is a as a system of structures. It is a system. It is a structure. We study the different components of the structure. It has different parts, like our body has different organs. Similarly, the society has different organs, and all its components must integrate with each other, and they should evolve and develop, and they should perform work as a system of structures. So Malinowski, yes, Malinowski said that we what is a culture? He said culture is satisfy our human needs. It fulfill our human needs. Functionalism. So studies social institutions. So socio-cultural anthropology. When I talk about socio-cultural anthropology, it has it has socio-cultural anthropology. So socio-cultural anthropology is it has a lot of scope. It has a lot of usefulness in a tribal study, in village study, in rural economy, in tribal studies. Okay, so I am just starting the subject, acquainting you all of you with the subject about the various dimensions of the scope of the anthropology. Like I am explaining you the definitions of the anthropology by the scholars. What is anthropology? Okay, what is the scope of anthropology? Where it expands, to which scope it expands, but it's where it different fields it has its application. Okay, so then it has also the scope also includes archaeological anthropology. In archaeological anthropology, what we do, we study about past culture. So how we study the past culture? We don't have written records, we don't know the language, so written records is not there. So how to study the culture? We study the culture through material remains like stones. We are getting stones. We are old stone age, new stone age, middle stone age. We are discussing about it a lot of times. So all these material remains, bones, and then remains of rice, remains of houses, remains of bricks. Okay, so all these remains of poetry, okay, remains of animals, so all these little things, yeah, depict. It explains about the what about which it explains about the past culture. We study the past culture. How will you study? You don't have written record. You don't have language. So how will you study? So we will study with the material remains. हमें material remains पोट्री मिलती है, material remains में हमें stones के tools मिलते हैं, stones मिलते हैं, उनको हम study करते हैं, उनका culture किस तरह का होगा, वो क्या खाते होंगे, क्या उनके tools थे, क्या उनकी life थी, क्या वो economy क्या थी उनकी, पॉलिटिकल लाइफ कैसी थी, ये सारी चीजें हम पढ़ते हैं सोशो कल्चरल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी में. तो एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, आर्कियोलॉजिकल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, सोशल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, ये आपस में रिलेटेड भी हैं. ओके तो हम देखते हैं एग्जाम्पल्स की बात करें, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल जो है वी गॉर्डन चाइल्ड डे. वी गॉर्डन चाइल्ड डे ने टर्म एक कॉइन की थी, नियोलिथिक रेवोल्यूशन. तो हम पढ़ते हैं, हमारा कल्चर पढ़ते हैं, पहले प्री हिस्टोरिक कल्चर पढ़ते हैं, पैलोलिथिक पीरियड पढ़ते हैं, मेसोलिथिक पीरियड पढ़ते हैं, है ना, नियोलिथिक पीरियड पढ़ते हैं. तो नियोलिथिक पीरियड को हम अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करेंगे, क्या ये उस टाइम ये किसको बोलते हैं, क्या टाइम लाइन थी, क्या उस टाइम पे कौन लोग रहते थे, क्या उनकी सोशल लाइफ थी, इकोनॉमिक लाइफ कैसी थी, पॉलिटिकल लाइफ कैसी थी। तो ये चीजें डिस्कस तो उस पीरियड को वी गॉर्डन चाइल्ड ने न्यूलिथिक रेवोल्यूशन का नाम दिया, क्योंकि उस न्यूलिथिक पीरियड में शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ पीरियड में बहुत सारी क्विक चेंजेस आई, रेवोल्यूशनरी चेंजेस आई, तभी वी गॉर्डन चाइल्ड ने न्यूलिथिक रेवोल्यूशन का नाम दिया। हम लोगों ने एग्जीबिशन कर दी, इसमें हमने हड़प्पा में एग्जीबिशन की है, मोहनजोदड़ो में एग्जीबिशन की है। ओके, तो हमने स्टोन एज के टूल्स को इस्तेमाल किया है, स्टडी किया है ना। एग्जीबिशन कर दी, डिफरेंट जो साइट्स थी है ना, इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन के, चंद्राहो, सुरकोटाडा, मोहनजोदारो, हड़प्पा, लोथल, धोलावीरा, ओके, एंड many other sites, Sutka gender. Okay, so we have exhibited a lot of things. We have exhibited red stone, red sandstone. We extracted granaries. We extracted great bath. We extracted figurines of. We studied the paintings, the art and art of Neolithic period, of Paleolithic period, Neolithic period. We studied it in a lot of things in detail. So Paleolithic period, we studied the art, the briefs of arts and things of the society. So we have to, in archaeological anthropology, explain to you that it has a lot of scope. Then comes, we study the linguistic anthropology. Okay, so let us study the linguistic anthropology. So what is linguistic anthropology? In linguistic anthropology, okay, so when I talk about linguistic anthropology, it means we study languages. Which language humans speak? What type of language humans speak? How do they speak? How do they communicate? How culture? How language has relation with culture? Dialects. We study the dialects. So Sapir and Wolf hypothesis. So Sapir and Wolf hypothesis. They proposed Sapir and Wolf hypothesis. I will discuss with this hypothesis in later on chapters. We will discuss, have a lot of discussions on it. Now you must understand, try to get basic idea of the subject, the scope of the subject. You know, it studies family, it studies biological aspects, cultural aspects, it studies past culture, it studies languages, so it studies lot of things. It is, that is why it is called holistic study. That is why A.L. Kroeber has said that it is the most humanistic of all the sciences and the most scientific of all the humanities. Yes, he was right. Okay. Then Franz Boas, he studied the human being, humankind in its totality, and Franz Boas advocated, yes, cultural relativism. We are studying the culture. Who are we to evaluate other cultures, to say other cultures is superior or inferior? Our culture is very superior. Who are we? No, he was, Franz Boas, he was against this ethnocentrism. On the other hand, Franz Boas advocated cultural relativism. No culture is inferior and superior. So we are discussing a lot on these things. I am enhancing your knowledge base. So what is that? Linguistic anthropology. We study the languages, verbal languages, non-verbal speech of human being, of animals, how it is have relation with culture. We study endangered languages, languages that are going to expire soon. There are languages in our 8th schedule of the constitution. You are UPSC aspirant, you will study constitution, and in constitution you will study that there are some languages that are mentioned in the 8th schedule, and these languages are studied by linguistic anthropology, linguistic classification, the various language family that are in India. It is studied by the linguistic anthropology. Sapir and Wolf proposed Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. So languages shapes worldview. So Sapir and Whorf hypothesis. So Sapir and Whorf hypothesis. It has proposed this hypothesis. So there are endangered languages, lot of endangered languages. It is studied by the linguistic anthropology. We study the dialects of rural India. We also study the dialects of urban India. We study the tribal dialects. Okay, so communication has a lot of role to play in governance. We want to do schooling. We have to impart instructions in mother tongue languages. So medium of instruction is studied in linguistic anthropology. Linguistic anthropology guides the policymakers about the medium of instruction to be used in schools or colleges. So it highlights the linguistic minorities in the country, studies about the linguistic minorities, studied about the linguistic families. It languages has identified with the public, with the people, person. So it is useful in tribal identity. So it has lot of tribal identity in linguistic anthropology. So yes, of course, I have talked lot with you regarding the linguistic anthropology. I have discussed with you the name of Malinowski, Radcliffe Brown are belongs to different schools of thoughts. Speyer-Whorf hypothesis was proposed by Sapir and Whorf in linguistic anthropology. V. Gordon Child coined Neolithic Revolution. We studied about archaeological anthropology. I discussed with you about biological anthropology. We study blood groups, we study body fat, we study sensory perception, we study physiological adaptation of humans towards hot, cold climate. विराज विराज मेरे को फोन देगा 1 सेकंड विराज फोन देगा 1 सेकंड के लिए Yes, we are discussing lot of things of social cultural anthropology. Yes, archaeological anthropology, linguistic anthropology. Of course, it has a lot of scope. It's very vast. Why is scope it's very vast? If I ask you, if you ask me why the scope of anthropology is very vast, because it is holistic subject. It is field-based approach. It is not like sociology. Unlike sociology and biology, it studies both aspects, cultural as well as biological aspect. Okay, so we study health, we study migration, we study globalization, we study gender, we study holistic view of style, that is anthropos, two Greek words, anthropos and logi. Anthropos means humankind, human beings, and logi means study. So Franz Boas, A.L. Kroeber, Ruth Benedict. So we are talking about anthropology. So E.B. Tyler, of course, great, fantastic anthropologist. He said that anthropology is the study of man in its totality. He was evolutionist. Okay, he viewed culture as progressive. He culture is progressing from savagery to barbarism to civilization. He was evolutionist. Franz Boas, he was against evolutionists. Okay, A.L. Kroeber, of course, he has given the humanistic of all the sciences. Ruth Benedict says the way of life of people in all period of society, way of life of group of people in all periods of society history. We study human societies. We study primitive tribes. Scope of anthropology. Yes, of course, it has vast scopes in it. Okay, I discussed it with you. Of course, it has also practical applied scope. It has applied scope also. Let us discuss about the applied scope, practical scope. So I talk about applied anthropology. Okay. So we have anthropological knowledge to study to solve practical problems. For example, health related, public health, malnutrition, maternity mortality, tribal development, social welfare schemes. Okay. So anthropologist, knowledge of anthropologist has made possible to make PISA Act, Forest Rights Act, Fifth Schedule, Census Survey, Policy Making, Tribal Research Institute. Yes, anthropology has lot roles to play. It has applications in the founding of Tribal Research Institute, Forest Rights Act, PISA Act, Fifth Schedule. It has public health problem issues. So we solve practical problems. Okay. Applied anthropology. Yes. We are discussing about scope, applied, oblique, practical scope. Then comes action anthropology, soul tax. Wow, soul tax gave action anthropology. It means anthropology, they do participant observation, they remain engaged with the community, they works with them. Okay, they works with them, not only they study them but they also develop them. So applied anthropology, of course, yes, solving practical problems with anthropological knowledge. So public health, practical public health issues. We have tribal development, we have social welfare schemes, of course. We use anthropological knowledge to solve practical problems. So what is applied anthropology? It has a lot of applied aspects to solve practical problems. So public health, malnutrition, diseases, mortality, social welfare schemes, tribal development. Okay, and action anthropology term was coined by Soltax. What is action anthropology? I mean, they are taking action, they are engaging themselves, they are working with them, causing the working with them for development rather than just studying them. So anthropology is not just academic; it is solution oriented. It is relevant to India because 8.6% of population is in India is tribal. Okay, so we can explain this in the form of flowchart with scope of anthropology at the center and biological, social, linguistic, cultural, sociocultural, archaeological, linguistic and applied as its different scopes. Okay, so when I say that when I discuss about applied anthropology, of course, it has res all where it is applicable, all in the society, in the poor society, in the rich society, in the tribal society, in the rural society, in the urban society. We study migration, globalization, westernization. We study public health. We study development of tribes. We study social welfare schemes, implementation of social welfare schemes. Okay, so it has a lot of uh, relevance for public health. So linguistic anthropology. So it is very useful in tribal identity. It is useful in tribal identity. It has useful in communication. Okay. So what as far as the development of anthropology is concerned, so I would say that it does not emerge suddenly. एकदम से कोई anthropology ऐसे निकल के नहीं आ गया. So it has developed through various stages, historical stages. So first I will discuss with you early phase, then classical phase, then there are mid 20th century, then contemporary phase. It can be divided into various phases. So it is a not a academic subject, but it has solution oriented subject. It is not has academic relevance, but it has solution oriented subject. It is holistic and applied discipline. Okay, so it has it not only study the diversity, the evolution, but it also study the address the various challenges. Okay, like gender inequality, like migration, environmental crisis. Okay, then tribal displacement, then health and nutrition. Of course, it has it has developed from firstly it was a colonial curiosity. It then transformed into scientific and solution oriented discipline. Okay, so it has become vital for policy formulation and governance in India. Yes, so you have to explain its scope with examples with the Indian context. Okay, so you have to explain its phases. Okay, you must give timeline, suggestions, diagrams for enrichment. Okay, so of course it has not only academic subject, it is a solution oriented subject. It has addressed contemporary challenges: tribal displacement, economic inequality, gender inequality, migration, health and nutrition. Okay, so when first is uh, early phase. So what is early phase means? Various colonizers, European colonizer, they studied tribal people, they studied indigenous people. Okay, for example, so in during this phase, early phase, so early phase means it belongs to 18th and 19th century. So various colonizers, they studied the various colonies, indigenous people. They evolutionary theories they developed. So evolutionary theories came to life, like L.H. Morgan explained stages of a culture like savagery, barbarism, civilization. Okay, E.B. Tyler has defined culture as a complex whole. So first definition of culture. Okay, so it was, they were more of ethnocentric in nature. They consider our culture as superior culture and others culture as inferior culture. So they were armchair anthropologists. So they rely on records of travelers. They rely on secondary data and do the study of anthropology and undertake various studies. They don't like visiting the field and collecting first hand data or primary data. They don't collect primary data. So early phase belongs to 18th century, 19th century period. What has happened in that period? In that period, they European colonizer were very everywhere there. So they studied the indigenous people. They don't like to, they studied their culture, their lifestyle. They wanted to rule over them, so they wanted to study these people. So like they studied, they were evolutionists, they were classical evolutionists, like L.G. Morgan, E.B. Tyler. So they talked about evolution in the culture, in the form of evolution, in the culture का evolution हुआ है, culture की definition दी है. So they were ethnocentrism. They were ethnocentric people. They were armchair anthropologists. They belong to armchair anthropologists, and they were speculative, ethnocentric. Okay, so early phase. So I am talking about the early phase of anthropology, early phase in the development of anthropology. Then comes classical phase. So when comes classical phase, it comes after 19th century, that is earlier 20th century. So here, first the shift focus was only secondary study. No, the focus shifted to field studies. No, the focus shifted to empirical studies, like Malinowski. Malinowski studied used participant observation to study Trobriand Islanders. Okay, they conducted field studies. Then rejected evolutionism, emphasized cultural relativism and historical particularism. Okay, so what happened in the classical phase, early period of 20th century? So anthropology became more scientific, more rigorous and more relativistic. Anthropology became more scientific, more rigorous and more relativistic. So it was more scientific, it was more rigorous, it was more relativistic. Okay, so early phase was there. What they do, they don't do anything special. They just study reading, they do reading, and they study the indigenous people. So in classical phase, Franz Boas, Malinowski, they objected classical evolutionism. They imply participant observation, studied Togadian islanders. They rejected evolutionism. They emphasized cultural relativism. It has become more scientific, more relativistic, and rigorous. It has become more relativistic, rigorous. Then comes mid 20th century. Then comes mid 20th century. Then late 20th century. Then comes mid 20th century. What happens in mid 20th century? Schools of thought develop, like structural functionalism, given by Radcliffe Brown. So Radcliffe Brown says that what is a society? Society is a structure. Okay, Okay, then comes functionalism, how culture fulfills human needs, Malinowski. Okay, so mid-17th century, then structuralism, Levi-Strauss. Okay, so yeah, they studied kinship, they studied myths. Okay, they studied structure of human thoughts. Human thought, what is human is thinking, human is having thought, and what is the structure of that thought? That is structuralism. Structuralism, functionalism, structural functionalism, neo-evolutionism, and cultural ecology. Julian Stewart, Leslie White. Okay, cultural evolve with environment and energy use. So how we started using energy again and again. Less energy was being used, more energy was being used. So culture evolved with the usage of energy. So Julian Stewart, Leslie White studied cultural ecology, neo-evolutionism, okay, in the mid 20th century. Then biological anthropology, okay, sandwich lot of paleoanthropology means fossil discoveries were done. We studied about genetics, we studied about serology, we studied about genetics, serology, and genetics. So this was talking about mid 20th century. So mid 20th century, we focus on biological anthropology, we focus on genetics, we focus on serology, we focus on paleoanthropology. In early 20th century, we focus on structuralism, we focus on functionalism, we focus on cultural, we focus on mid 20th century. Okay, we focus on structuralism, functionalism, cultural ecology, neo-evolutionism, biological anthropology. Okay, cultural classical phase, we focus on structuralism. We focus on shift was from field studies, focus studies, uh, cultural nativism, historical particularism, participant observation. It becomes more scientific, rigorous, and relativistic. So anthropology did not evolve suddenly. It evolved through historical stages. So we have to discuss about early phase, how colonizer came. They studied indigenous people. Then study first was only evolutionary theories came. Then came classical studies, empirical studies came. Then mid 20th century, I have talked about a lot of things. Then early 20th century, early phase, classical phase, mid 20th century. Okay, then first is the early phase, 18th and 19th century. Then comes classical phase, early 20th century. Then mid 20th century, early phase, mid classical, mid and contemporary phase, that is late 20th and 21st century. Okay, so here we focus on applied anthropology, how it is role in democracy, its role in health, its role in migration, tribal rights, development. It has interdisciplinary, it has now become interdisciplinary. Means we are integrating medical anthropology with genetics, with AI, with forensic, environmental studies, interdisciplinary integration. Okay, so contemporary thoughts we developed, we studied. It is a time of AI. It is the age of AI. It has interdisciplinary approach. We focus on genetics. We study focus on forensics, environmental studies, AI, medical anthropology, biological anthropology, direct role, applied anthropology. In contemporary periods, applied anthropology has a lot of role to play. Interdisciplinary approach, it has a lot of play. Interdisciplinary integration. So we talk about Indian context. So Indian context, we a lot of studies were done. Okay, so first, how was the trend? The trend was, first was curiosity, speculative curiosity, then comes academic rigor, then applied human science. It shifted from early to classical to early 18th 19th century, mid 20th century, then contemporary, that is late 20th and 21st century. Focus was on health, applied anthropology. Focus was on interdisciplinary approach. So, Warrior Alvin so came with tribal welfare policy. Okay, S.C. Roy, he was first Indian ethnographer. You can worked in this period, thinkers who worked in this period, anthropologists who worked in this period like S.C. Roy, like Barry Relvin, like D.N. Mazumdar. So it studies village, study interlinked caste, then tribe, then peasants, caste people, peasant people, and tribe. So D.N. Mazumdar. So they belong to this contemporary phase. D.N. Mazumdar. Then comes N.K. Bose. Then comes Verrier Alvin. Then comes N.K. Bose. Okay. So it integrated with Gandhian social thought. So, of course, I have discussed with you scope of anthropology, the development of anthropology, the meaning of anthropology. Of course, I have tried to acquaint you, all of you, with the basics of anthropology, the tribals of anthropology, the contemporaries of anthropology. It has late 20th and 21st century. We have interdisciplinary integration. We have genetics. We have forensics. We have medical anthropology. So S.C. Roy, S.C. Roy has a name in it. Then N.K. Bose has a name in it. D.N. Mazumdar has a name in it. Very relevant tribal welfare policies. All the anthropologists, they lived and they worked during the contemporary phase. Okay, guys. So let us bind up this session. I will continue in the next video. So guys, चैनल को वॉच करें, लाइक करें, कमेंट करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें guys. Okay guys, bye bye, take care, all the best for the exams. Take care guys.